Your opinion.
What's
Paul?
the latest age
Hi, good
a
morning.
middle-aged man can wear a backwards hat?
28.
According to Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
women seem to like that.
There's no way that they can like that. There's
Lauren?
no way that they can like a
Lauren?
45.
There's a 40-year-old man with a backwards hat.
I mean, what
You
are
think he's trying too hard?
What are you, Dan
With
Cortez?
a 5 o'clock shadow?
Are you
I like a
Dan
5 o'clock
Cortez?
shadow. Now
Is
you're
this
talking
Rock and
my
Jock?
language.
Is this Rock and Jock
Good morning,
MTV?
everybody.
I flew on an airline that rhymes with what, Robert?
Schmear it.
Schmear it today, and we always give grief to airlines when they aren't on their game.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you,
On top of it?
on time every time. There might
Well,
be
that's
a
because
pigeon sitting next to you. You don't know, but you're gonna get there. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because they don't wait for anyone. That old lady that's making her way down the walkway, hey, move it or lose it, sister.
How
We
many-
took
how
off
many
with people
wheelchairs?
standing up.
How many wheelchairs? Half the plane? You're dodging through the gates like this, but everyone's in a wheelchair.
And what about the scooters at the grocery store?
It's unreal.
It's an epidemic in this
I got an
country.
idea.
Okay. Let's
Get in the
just
gym.
take a breath. Mark,
Get some crunches in your life.
can you be nice? It's
Yeah, you know
halfway
who-
through the week. He
Yeah,
gets
hey,
like this.
no,
towards the
I'm
end
good.
of the
Mix in
week.
some calisthenics one time.
I'm good. You know who's good?
The 04 champs were really good.
Before we get into that, my old buddy, 2009 teammate, Matt Holliday, and his family's probably on
Yeah.
a third to Fenway because the arrival's happening.
Congratulations.
2 weeks late,
Congratulations.
mind you.
The arrival.
Jackson Holliday in the house.
Forearms like this.
I don't
And
know-
Ethan is on his way too.
Yeah, his brother's really good too.
Skybox it.
Skybox it.
Let's go.
Really?
04 champs celebrated at Fenway, and my goodness, was that lineup stacked with talent.
Yeah.
I love when teams, Robert, you
pretty
say
cool.
this all the time, and I completely agree. When they take care of their own, right?
Yeah.
When they celebrate their history, and New York teams do it very, very
Look
well.
at Kevin.
Look at
Boston.
Kevin
Oh,
Malone.
Fab. That
Look at
team,
Johnny
that
Damon.
team was special.
Johnny Damon's got the same look as 20 years ago.
I thought it would change.
No, I mean, it's like he looks the same. Good for him.
Absolutely does.
You think about it, Dave Roberts stole one of the most iconic bases
so
of all time.
crazy.
Bill Miller was hit ninth in that lineup. I think he won the batting title that year.
If Dave Roberts isn't safe, if he's thrown out, it's a whole different
And it was bang bang.
script.
Kevin Millar works a walk. Think he didn't?
I think he didn't. They honored legends. Honored
Sorry,
Wakefield.
Nays just told me batting title for Bill Miller in 03, not 04.
Our bad. They honored
Nays
Tim
did
Wakefield.
not let me.
They honored Larry
Yes.
Lucchino and Wakefield's daughter.
was-
This was a moment in
Yeah.
time, Brianna, throwing out the first pitch to Jason Varitek, and then he lifted up the World Series trophy. And she did as well with her brother, Trevor.
I honestly can't believe that.
Yeah.
Got a
What-
chance to
what a
get to know Tim after
Monumental
playing.
loss.
Yeah.
Top of the fourth, Colton Cowser. What a day for him. 2
Wow.
for 4, had his first multi-RBI game of his career, his young career. A double to left field, 2 runs will score.
I don't think it's in the highlight, Lauren, but Tyler O'Neill went deep again.
Again. Watch this.
Again.
Because they're manufacturing runs. Gunnar Henderson, top of the 7, steals third before the pitch, and he saw,
base
you can
running.
see it. I like this view. Sees
Nice heads
Rafael
up.
Devers playing off the bag at third, takes full advantage. Very next pitch, the payoff to perfection. Adley Rutschman singles up the middle. Henderson scores, and Baltimore extends their lead 4-1.
When do the Orioles play the Yankees?
Ooh, Corbin Burns. He has been everything they've needed him to be
Whew.
in an Orioles uniform.
And with
His
that
first
shadow?
road start as an Oriole.
Ooh.
O's win at 7-1. Time now for Book It to the Big Leagues, presented by Booking.com.
Number 1 overall prospect in baseball has been special to watch.
Jackson Holliday, huh? This is a plus athlete right here.
They're excited about him.
Yeah, they sure are.
With the first pick of the 2022 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Jackson Holliday.
Jackson Holliday is probably the best combination of hitting ability and ceiling in this draft. He's going to be a very special player at the big league level.
Gone! Jackson Holliday has his first career AAA home run.
And I try to play the game the right way to hopefully younger kids see that and try to imitate me.
Fire me up, Jackson Holliday! A walk-off 2-run home run in the bottom of the 9th.
I think he's kind of a unicorn. I think he's going to make his own player comps as he matures in his career.
Power, the defense, the ability to score. He just knows how to play.
Congratulations to Jackson Holliday and the Holliday family, as yes, the #1 prospect in all of Major League Baseball will be called up, figures to make his debut, who knows, maybe today, against the Red Sox. And he has been, if you're a baseball fan, you've heard of Jackson Holliday for a handful of years now. He is almost a known commodity and has not played one inning of the big leagues. Dero, I mean, like I said, this is something that we know that has been happening, and I just can't wait to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I think for me, Robert, working here for the last 10 years, there's been some arrivals, right? I can remember when I was still playing in Strasburg. I remember Matt Weeder showing up to Baltimore, and it was a huge deal. Bryce Harper, all these different young players. This year, Jackson Churio makes the team and starts opening day for the Milwaukee Brewers. But this is crazy stuff. 2009, I got traded to the St. Louis Cardinals, and I got a chance. Matt Holliday got traded over from the Oakland A's like 2 days after me, and I got a chance to play an entire second half with Matt. Matt's one of the best teammates I ever had. He's one of the strongest individuals I've ever been in a room with. Real quick story. In 2009, when you get traded over to St. Louis, they wanted to test you, fast twitch stuff. Lat pull downs, grip strength tests.
That's right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
Right up my alley.
So I go rolling in there, shredded tank top. Give me the grip strength.
No, you
bang! Oh, yeah. And I pinned it. I was a little bit behind Pujols. Matty comes in 48 hours later and literally breaks the machine. And for the rest of the second half, Albert would go in there every day to try. The competitor in Pujols to take over Matt Holliday was impressive. But running around the clubhouse in the second half was this guy, Jackson. And to fast forward to now and the arrival of him taking on the Boston Red Sox, let's get into it because this has been a meteoric rise. First overall pick, $8.5 million signing bonus, and you never know, right, coming out of high school, what it's going to look like. Pause this real quick for me. This is spring training. Bring up his minor league numbers, please. And I want you to understand, he's doing this at 19 years old. 19 years old, I'm playing college ball. 21 years old, I get drafted. I'm hitting 250 with maybe a couple homers in short season A-ball. And I end up going on to play, have a decent career in the big leagues. 19 years old, this guy took apart the minor leagues in one season. Low A ball, 396. He almost hit 470 plate appearances with a weighted runs created plus of 226. All right, let's test him. High A ball. You start to get into these waters, you're facing big league arms. Maybe they can't execute and locate every pitch, but you're getting big time stuff thrown at you. 338 with a weighted runs created plus of 154, and then at AAA to start the season this year. 292 with a 138 weighted runs created plus. So the offensive profile is there. Get back into spring training. He came in thinking he was going to make the team. And I think if you put Mike Elias on a lie detector test, he'll tell you he should have made the team. And I think him coming up on this date signals that maybe they made a little bit mistake in their judgment not bringing him. Pause this real quick. I think they realize the Yankees are good. I think they realize they're in a tough division. I think they're getting no production out of their second baseman. And I think they realize they got a team to win the World Series. And we can't lose this division by 1 or 2 games without the best 26 players on our roster in Camden Yards. And he's one of them. So dive back in. Here we go. His swing, he does one thing that we're going to get into that I think is unbelievable. And it's a flawless move. We talk all the time right there. Run that back for me real quick. I just want you to focus as this tape progresses. Get him to his load with the leg kick. Run it. Pause. I just want you to focus on the fact that he gives that right pocket right to the pitcher. Not many people do that. Almost like a coil into the back hip, but he's almost like letting you see that right pocket.
He's got the knob of the bat pointed towards the catcher like Jim Thome talks about.
Thome talks about, Roflo. And we talk about don't hit to the ball, hit through the ball. The beauty in this swing, run this. And we're going to flash it back to high school because I always talk about, Lauren, you are some version of yourself. I mean, this is a gorgeous hack. He doesn't have the leg kick yet or the trust. He's showcasing. He's probably a little nervous at the Perfect Game All-American Classic, and he's not going full engaged. Pause this. But when I go down wormholes at night of the draft, obviously Bobby Witt stands out. But in 2012, who's this?
Corey Seager.
Run it. I don't know how he didn't go #1 overall. Carlos Correa did. Look at the freedom. I did not look like that in high school. And he turned into 10 years, 325. So we have a side angle right there. He kind of profiles like a Corey Seager type player. And then you go through his minor league numbers. Who does he profile like offensively? Bring up the next two boards.
Just the confidence in those 2 years is crazy.
It's nuts. Booking it to the big leagues. Notable career minor league OPSs. First off, Juan Soto, 512 plate appearances. He had an OPS in the minors north of 1,000. Jackson Holiday, 722. Look at the names on the list. Look at who he's profiling like coming out of the minor leagues offensively. Do the side-by-side with Juan Soto. You got the board with Juan Soto? There we go. Minor league comparisons. 512 plate appearances for Soto before he came up. Jackson, 722. I mean, it's not far off. I don't know if you get a Juan Soto offensive profile for his career in the minor leagues playing up the chute with Gunnar Henderson, but who's to say? This guy has had a meteoric rise. And the one guy he reminds me of in the box, let's get to the side-by-side, showing that back pocket to the pitcher, no one did it better than Robbie Cano. Run this. Pause. They almost give you that lean, almost that preset lean into that back hip. Run it. Run that back for me one more time. Kids, this is what it looks like when nothing gets in the way of your swing. There's no hinges. Talk about body awareness. Lauren, if you go back and watch people hit, I had moving parts. It kind of looked funky at times and getting through the ball. There's a freedom in this swing. This is God-given with a ton of work. Pause. Look at him start to create that leg. We're going to take the bottom hand directly to the baseball. The power's there, the lower half. Run this slow. Pause. I mean, he's perfectly stacked into his lower half. That is the epitome of getting your A hack off. Might need you to shorten up with 2 strikes, but that is a beautiful thing. Run it. And I just think it's awesome that he's going to get a chance. Here's a front angle. Take a look at that hip again. Robbie Cano used to present that all the time in Yankee Stadium. He's grown up in the clubhouse. He won't be intimidated by the big moment. He's been to all-star games. Look at his dad doing IT back in the day. And Matty, I'm telling you, hit some of the furthest balls I've ever seen. He's got the leg kick like his old man, but his old man didn't present that back hip. So I couldn't be more fired up to see him play. Gunnar Henderson up the chute. The Baltimore Orioles are super exciting.
He is a wonderful young man. He was 6 when he shared the clubhouse with you, Dero.
6 years old.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the corresponding move is. And Steve Phillips was talking about this on MLB Network Radio this morning, that if he's fortunate enough to win the Rookie of the Year, that despite starting the season in the minor leagues, he still theoretically would still have enough service time so that the Orioles could get the extra draft pick if Jackson Holiday is able to win the Rookie of the Year. But a lot of baseball to be played before that happens. All right, let's go to Kansas City for the Astros and the Royals.
Main story?
Yeah, our top story, Yordan Alvarez, 4 more hits, Dero, and I texted you, Cole Reagans tried everything to get him out, and he couldn't figure out a way. Cole Reagans gave up 10 hits and 5 runs, but as per their early season start, the Astros unable to take advantage. Alvarez with an RBI knock to make it 3-0. They had a chance to make it even a bigger deficit, but they couldn't. Bottom of the fifth. Christian Javier working with a 3-0 lead. Now it's 3-1, and now he's in trouble. Bobby Witt Jr. That is off the wall, gets away from Mauricio Dubon, and you know Witt.
Look at him run.
Yeah, he's got 3, and he's got an RBI, and it's later. It cuts the lead to 3-2. They eventually tie it. We go to extra innings. Tied at 3. Salvador Perez is at the plate. You got the automatic runner at second. Some ham and eggers on Twitter were talking about, why don't you walk him? Well, there's a lefty on deck. MJ Melendez. I mean, that's why some of you have terrible fantasy baseball teams. The Royals have won 5 in a row.
Set up the double play.
To the loo for the Phillies and the Cardinals on a Tuesday. Nolan Gorman in the bottom of the 4th took the 4-seamer out to put his Cardinals on the board. A solo shot to center field, 1-0. Wow, this is impressive for so many reasons. First of all, Sonny Gray did not show signs of a hamstring injury or rust, right, of not facing live hitting like he would like to. 5 innings of work, 0 earned runs, 5 strikeouts along the way. He left the game with a lead. More offense in the 5th. Victor Scott, runners at 2nd and 3rd. That will do. Do your job. He did it to perfection. Sac fly, left field, first career RBI, and the Cardinals lead it 2-0. Wheeler pitching to Brendan Donovan. This was crazy. A wild pitch. Looks like it catches JT under the mask. And you said 0 for him to come out.
Yeah, this is the toughest of the tough dudes, man.
Toughest guys I've ever been around.
They're
So
calling
this
it-
obviously caught him wrong.
It did catch him flush.
Calling it a bruised neck. He would lead the game. Same score in the top of the 9th. Bases empty. 2 outs. Brandon Marsh, their last hope, and he strikes out swinging. And the Cardinals win 3-0 at home. It was a sterling debut.
Big
for
W.
Sonny Gray. First of all, it was against a relentless, this is inside the start, Phillies lineup. Allowed 5 singles, struck out 5 over 5 in a 3-0 win at Busch. I remember in the offseason, I think it was November, Nays, correct me if I'm wrong, John Mozeliak, it was Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson,
Super
Sonny Gray,
quick.
boom, 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 boom. And they knew, they said, and Sonny Gray felt it. He felt that they wanted him in a major way, and they wanted him for starts like that and what he can do for them in the future.
Watching him, they needed their ace back on the bump, Robert. You saw it in spring training. You felt it when he was throwing his side, that he was
Looked
the
good.
dude, right? He kind of put everyone else in line. Miles Michaelis got to shuffle back into line. Steven Matz has been throwing the ball good for them. It just allows the focus. What I loved about him is he looks so sharp. Like he was dotting that heater away. He had good spin. He didn't give in. And Ali Marmol in a big spot. He could have, do we have that? He could have took him out right here in the 5th. He had traffic on the base paths.
Leave it in.
He was 62 pitches. He was probably going 65 coming into the game, and he gets the double play rollover. And just kind of like excited the crowd. Nolan Gorman ends up going deep. Mason Wynn had a couple knocks. He looks like he's getting pretty secure in what he's trying to do. So I think just an overall good night for the St. Louis Cardinals because taking on Wheeler and the Phillies.
So many moves. Sonny
Have the
Gray, they
Phillies,
needed
have
him.
the
Corbin
Phillies
Burns, the
won a
Orioles needed
Wheeler
him.
start this year?
Oh,
I don't know if
Robert.
they've won a Wheeler start this year. That's not something you want,
No,
obviously.
that's not good.
I mean, that's win
Start.
day when that dude's on. Yeah, they're 0-3 in Zach Wheeler starts.
Robert, you nailed that.
And he has an ERA of 1.89. So, obviously.
I think he's a ball or strike question later on.
Yep, that's it. All right, we're just getting started on this.
Welcome back to MLB Central. We are presented by Hyundai. Hey, an update, a testimony from a 47-year-old man on Twitter. I don't wear a hat often, but my wife loves it when I wear it backwards.
Okay.
47?
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Anaheim for the Rays and the Angels. Remember
I
when
don't
we
make
said
the news. I'm just
that
reporting it.
Mike Trout was going to announce his presence this year? Well, he certainly has. Most home runs, 6, in the first 11 games of a season in Angels history.
Wow. They have 16.
He has homered in 3 straight games for the 15th time in his career.
Yeah, he's got a little fire under his tush.
Yeah. Jose Caballero
He's not happy.
brings in Jose Siri. Hey, Siri.
No, your phone's going to do it.
Rays take a 3-2 lead. I was just kidding.
Isaac
Siri.
Paredes.
Isaac Paredes. His 4th homer of the year. Shush, Siri.
Siri,
Rays
that's
goes
enough
on
out
to
of
win
you.
6-4. All right, A's Rangers in Arlington. The night belonged to former Baylor Bear and Keller native, which is in the Metroplex, Shea Langoliers. That's a solo home run. His first of the night.
Is a very nice area.
It's a very nice
Played
area.
there 05, 06.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it immensely.
7th inning. Langoliers not done. He goes yah again. We're tied at 2. And then in the 9th, he does it again. And joining some rarefied air in the process. His 3rd homer a game. He accounts for all 4 runs. And the A's go on to win by the final of 4-3. The A's have a 3-game win streak for the first time this year. They didn't win 3 games in a row last year until June.
What?
And look at this. Most homers in a game by a catcher, Shea Langoliers, and your boy, the Hall of Famer, Mickey Cochran, who also served in World War II. So thank you for your service.
Looks like he smoked 2 packs of Camel, no filter.
Yeah, and there's a good chance he might have served in the Civil War, too. I don't know.
I can't confirm.
I don't know. I can't confirm.
Don't quote me.
Don't quote me. All right, here we go. Back to Toronto. Renovated Rogers Center. I like
Blue
this.
Jays
I
are
like the
500.
renovations that they did. It looks really nice. Mariners, Blue Jays, Bo
Beautiful
Bichette.
there.
He's on the board, his first of the year. You knew it was just a matter of time. And then George the Animal Springer brings in Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who had a good night at the plate. Blue Jays up 5-0. It's Mitch Haniger.
We're 3 boxed on the
I know.
side.
Mitch Haniger gets into the act. That's a 2-run homer, his second. Blue Jays still leading 5-3. Josh Rojas grounds into a double play, and the Blue Jays win 5-3. Chris Bassett, this was the 17th time he faced the Mariners in his career. Just the 2nd time that he's beaten them. He said, this lineup has given me all sorts of trouble, so I had to change how I pitch, and it worked. Blue Jays
Came
win
back
5-3.
out on the mound to 6 with north of 100 pitches.
100-plus pitches for Chris Bassett.
Yeah.
Dodgers Twins, James Outman. 3-run homer, his second of the year.
He's starting to get going.
Yes, he is. Everyone's getting going.
Okay. I like
Will Smith.
How about him in the 4 slot, 140?
Yeah, he's got a 3-run homer.
Oppo,
6-0 on his first home run of the year, but the story was Tyler Glasnow. He tied a career high with 14 strikeouts. He went 7 innings of work, gathered just 3 hits. The Dodgers win again, 6-3. And Tyler Glasnow has been everything that they could have hoped for in the offseason.
Now and then.
Mets, Braves, Austin Riley brings in Ronald Acuna Jr. It's 2-0. Next batter, Matt Olson. And this lineup just leans on it from the start. Brings in Ozzie Albies. After that, Marcelo Zuna. What's he hitting? 700?
Or like tarps on the field. I look outside.
Braves hit 3 consecutive singles, and they have a 4-0 lead. Pete Alonso. In the morning like Alonso.
That's
Rondo.
what you do to have a big year. You're down 6-0. No one's paying attention. 3-run bomb on the back end.
Now, Raisel Iglesias does get Alonso to swing and miss to close it out, and the Braves beat the Mets by the final of 6-3. Ronald Acuna, 3 stolen bases. Marlins, Yankees, Alex Verdugo.
People.
Different. They're different.
People.
Solo home
different
run.
Summer around here, I hate to tell you.
Now, can you listen? They're barking. They're barking. They're like Arsenio Hall's audience back in the 90s. That's his first home run of the Bronx, and then Giancarlo Stanton.
And if he's going to do that,
that's extra bases.
Swing down.
And how about a solid effort and outing from Carlos Rodon? 6 strikeouts, 6 innings of work. By the way, after starting the season 3 for 24 with 13 Ks, Giancarlo is 7 for his last 16, 4 extra base hits. And then Soto, that brings in another run, his 11th rib. Yankees go on to win again, 3-2. Here's Alex Verdugo answering some of the hard-hitting questions.
What kind of dog would you be? Oh man, I don't know. We kind of joke every day it's like a baby Chihuahua. So we start with like a baby bark, and the more damage you do, you know, the base starts going a little deeper, and you start turning into a big dog. So every day it's a little dog, and when you do something, you're a big dog.
He said they're baby Chihuahuas.
Right,
You see Judge and Stanton, they're not baby anything. It is a different feeling in the Bronx. The dugout, Boone, everything is just vibrant.
Why did it take so long for them to mix in some left-handed bats into this lineup? I mean, it just makes so much sense. They look incredible. Hopefully they get Garrett Cole back.
But I have a stat.
They had Jake Bowers last year. I mean, that was a little bit, but obviously this is a different level of
10-2
Correct.
for the 4th time in team history to start the season. The 3 other times.
They made it to the World Series. Dodgers, Yankees, collision course.
You're
welcome. Listen. I asked Jason Aldean this a long time ago.
Okay.
No, listen to this. I said, do you write all your music? He goes, no, best song wins.
Yeah.
And what do we say about Central?
I asked Shania Twain a long time ago.
No, best idea wins.
Yeah, so Lauren had this idea.
Lauren texted that sound to our group text last night, and she started naming some dogs.
Okay.
So we had to get Brendan to get after
A little mock-up here?
Huge mock-up. We're going to Camp Bow Wow. Aaron Boone, where are we starting?
Hey, shout out to Lil Bow Wow.
Yes, I think we're going to start with Aaron Judge. Look at him.
Look at the hi-hat.
Sorry.
With the hi-hat, Booney?
You're not fooling anybody.
Obviously.
Aaron Judge is the Great Dane. The Great Dane combines in its regal appearance dignity, strength, and elegance with great size and a powerful, well-formed, smoothly muscled body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Yes, it does.
Think it's not?
It always is a unit. It's the Apollo of dogs. Who's the watchdog? The German Shepherd. That'll be Juan Soto. This dog must be approachable, quietly standing its ground and showing confidence and a willingness to meet overtures without itself making them. That's what he does at the plate.
Yes.
Watch out. He'll bite you, but he'll take his walks as well. He's
poetic.
a watchdog. Anthony Volpe's the puppy. He's the
New Yorkie.
The New Yorkie. Don't let the Yorkie's daintiness fool you. He's tenacious, feisty, brave, sometimes bossy. And the Yorkie exhibits all the traits of a true terrier, often named the most popular dog breed in various American cities. Marcus Stroman's the Jack Russell Terrier. Strong, active, working terrier of character with a flexible body of moderate length and a rectangular profile. Full of life and moves with a confidence that matches his scenic
Oh my gosh.
Nestor, you're the Havanese. The Havanese is a small, sturdy dog of immense charm, the only native dog of Cuba, and he is beloved as a friendly, intelligent, and playful
That describes
companion.
Nestor perfectly.
It's perfect. It's exactly what he is. Keep it going. I think we're going Anthony Rizzo.
H to the Izzo.
He's got to be a Labrador Retriever. He's everyone's best friend. His temperament is one of a kindly, outgoing, and attractable nature. Eager to please, non-aggressive towards man or animal. He's aggressive towards fastball.
That's right.
The Labrador has much that appeals to people.
And he stands
Gentle
all of them.
all
up on the plate.
Ooh, the Mastiff.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. There he is, Stanton. A large, massive, symmetrical dog with a well-knit frame. Let me repeat. Large, massive, symmetrical dog with a well-knit frame. The impression is one of grandeur and dignity. And Verdugo, you did it to yourself. You're the Chihuahua. A graceful, alert, swift-moving, compact little dog with a saucy expression.
Yes, he's
It's
very
exactly
saucy.
what he
He's
is.
saucy.
He is so saucy. So, Booney, you got your hands full this summer. I don't know how you're going to take them all for a walk, but it's Camp Bow Wow.
My dog,
in the Bronx.
my dog Doug is half bull mastiff.
I said, we got to put Ian Hamilton in there. He's like,
Wait.
you locked in on him?
Does
That's
he
like
have
a
green?
stray.
Does he have green contacts?
He's
What
got,
is going
he's got
on?
Killer contacts.
He's like the Aquadigio model, but dangerous. There's something going on
He's one
there.
of those dogs that
He's got green
scratches.
contacts. I'm on to you.
He scratches at the back door. You don't know where he came from, but you got to let him in.
That was well done.
And
Good
feed
job
him
out of both of you.
immediately.
Nice
Good job, guys. All right, let's take a quick time out here.
I just think of Aaron Boone turning it on. He's like, I'm a veterinarian now.
Right.
This is the pride of Pittsburgh to everybody. We don't do that out here. We're a good team. We're winning for a reason. We're going to get our man back on track, but what happened today is, I think, unacceptable, and we as a group in Pittsburgh got to be better. It's an all-star for a reason, and we just have to be better. So that being said, two-time all-star.
David, I know it's a little emotional. What does it mean to have your guys like that behind you right now?
No, it's huge. Obviously, there's peaks and valleys through every season, and we're gonna get over this. It's definitely tough, but seeing these guys have my back, it's huge.
Joel Sherman is with us on a Wednesday. You got a
morning, Joel.
There, yeah, right. Good morning to you as we round the bases and talk about our guy, David Bednar. Blew his third save in 4 chances on Tuesday when Detroit rallied for a 5-3 win. His teammate came to his aid. It was so interesting because Nace just said it. He's been one of the most consistent relievers in the game. What did you think about that?
I'm going to get parochial right away.
Tell me.
First time I hear they only do this in New York. They only boo in New York, right? Like their own players.
No,
obviously
not true.
Remember
not true.
I just think every town now is very critical of its players. I think David Bednar would have been okay standing up for himself. He didn't need any support there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's he was getting emotional right there. Listen, I had David on Team USA. This is one of the best dudes in the game, Lauren. You know that to be true. He had come into the season a little nicked up.
Yeah.
He didn't look right to me on the mound. Little backdoor breaking ball that backs up and he drills a guy. So that takes some stones by Rowdy Tellez. It's not like he's come up through the Pittsburgh Pirates organization and has been there 10 years.
Right.
This is a new addition to a team, but they've gotten off to a hot start. They want to change the narrative and the culture. So standing up for his boy. But
on the flip side, that was a good win for the Detroit Tigers, who are also
huge. Came out
also
of
playing
nowhere.
well. Yeah. For a second consecutive season, Trevor Story is going to have to miss a good chunk of time. He injured his shoulder over the weekend while diving for a ball in Anaheim. The shoulder surgery is set to happen in the days ahead. After speaking with the media yesterday, Trevor Story obviously emotional about his health.
Missing last season, you feel that, you miss your teammates, you miss playing the game. You just know what it takes, but I'll be all right.
Your heart just breaks for him. Trevor Story is one of the most, he's been in studio here with us, and he's one of our favorites. But this is,
he's one of the most talented players in the game too. When he's right, that's the problem. And I don't think people realize he's crying because he realized all the time and energy to get healthy, and now his sight's got to go from there. We're in the first 10 games of the season, and he's got to think to Fort Myers 2025.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. We are always talking about money and stuff. Guys love to play baseball in general. I think 99 out of 100 guys really love to do this. They're very finite careers. Dero, you could speak to this, the idea of almost dying twice in your life. Once when you have to stop doing this, and then the real one. And he's essentially lost his ages 29 to 31 seasons. This is a prime year, these first 3 years in Boston. He loves to play baseball. Of course your heart goes out for him, and by the way, for all of us. Like when we're talking about all these injuries with pitchers, we're baseball fans. We want to see the best players play. Like nobody wants to see players hurt. And bad for Boston, bad for baseball.
That's interesting you said that. Like a piece of you goes away when the game goes, because all you know.
100%. It's all you've known. It's not a job. It's what you've played since you were 6 years old.
Part of your identity lies in it. Gosh,
get well soon, Trevor. Hopefully,
get well
it's
soon.
what you do. It's not who you are.
There's only one
Is that what they tell?
story.
That's a kind of a lie.
It's hard to grasp that, right? There's only one Tyler Glass now, that's for sure. 14 strikeouts on Tuesday, tying a career high. I watched this game. It's just limbs.
It's too
everywhere.
much, right? That's why I always say when he's right, and I hate that you have to kind of shelf it like that. But I think he's got the nastiest pure arsenal in the game. You just don't see a lineup ever put anything together off this guy.
You know, Dero, I was out there that early week, you know, because the Padres and Dodgers went to Korea. They opened spring training a week early, and I really wanted to see this Dodger team. I felt like they were going to be the story of the season. I wanted to see it when it opened. And one of the questions I kept asking is, you've kind of built a postseason rotation here, like high-end stuff that plays in October as they're trying to figure out how to win championships. But where is the length? Where, you know, Glasnow, career high 120. They were so confident that Glasnow has kind of unlocked some stuff with health. And again, let's hope that. We want to see this guy play. There was this underlying belief that Glasnow is just about to become not only a dominant guy, but a durable guy. Let's see how it plays out.
14 punch-outs. Look at the pitches. 88.
88.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to come out for the 8th. But, you know, obviously they've got bigger goals.
But he did the Zoolander look at Dave Roberts, was like blue steeled him. He said, no, I'm good for the night. Imagine that guy coming up. How are you feeling?
He's Gene Wilder.
Good. He's not Gene Wilder.
He's a handsome.
That's not a thing.
No, I said he's a handsome.
I mean, Gene Wilder, R.I.P., but
Rest
come
in
on.
peace.
Gene Wilder's R.I.P.
Yeah, he's R.I.P. By the way, James Paxton of the Los Angeles Dodgers set to join us in hour number 2.
It's a scary thought. I have so many questions, Joel. We just spoke on Trevor Story, who is part of that free agent shortstop class of 21-22 that we largely, you and I had many conversations about this, was deemed the best. It was Correa, Baez, Semien, Seager, who I'm missing, Story. Yep. When we look back on that now, this is such a fun exercise. What stands out to you, 2024?
Yeah, well, the Story injury, unfortunately, made me think about it a lot. And I think you would start at the top. The Rangers invested $500 million, $500 million in 2 guys. Remember, Semien was playing second, but some teams were thinking, should we sign him to play shortstop? So he was considered in that shortstop class. And instead, the Rangers went all in and said, let's create a double play combination. I mean, can it go better? Since then, Semien, since the beginning of the 2022 season when they joined Texas, Semien is 4th in WAR in all of baseball. Seager is 11th. You look at this. They were the double play combination last year. First championship in the history. They finished 2nd and 3rd in the MVP last year, Seager and Semien. The team won its first championship ever. Seager was the World Series MVP. They're both playing great again this year. You know, it's a long way from here to the end of those contracts, but it's almost no matter what happens moving forward, what a great pair of signings for this team. It's the cornerstone of their positional group.
At that time, Joel, 2 years ago, age wasn't really a factor. They were all similar. Who were you thinking was the standout of the class?
So I loved Seager because I think he left-handed. He had shown he was bulletproof in October already with the Dodgers. I know there was some questions about injuries, but I really loved him. But as we flip over here, you know, again, Story and Baez signed the same contract, 6 years at $140 million. And you just see the games played for Story. The injuries have been high here, and the performance wasn't good even when he was on the field. But, man, do the Tigers have a problem here, Lauren, or what? They signed Baez to be their number 3 hitter. By the end of last season and all of this year, he's fallen to number 8. You wonder how much further he could fall. I just went and looked it up. So he's got a 323 OPS this year. He's been up 33 times. He doesn't have a walk or an extra base hit yet. That's the 4th lowest OPS in the sport since he joined them in 22. For those with 1,000 plate appearances, his 624 OPS, only Miles Straw, who got taken off of the Guardian roster, is lower. You know how much we mentioned it in the previous with Detroit's win over Pittsburgh. Detroit is legit this year. They've got a shot to win the AL Central. How much longer do they want to go with Baez?
I remember talking to John Lester and him just being in awe of Javi Baez's talent on defense, the magician, and all that he could do, and how many kind of games he saved from. It's interesting to look back because hindsight's 20/20. Mookie Betts is playing shortstop for LA, 10 games so far, and they got him from Boston. And I feel like there is this narrative that LA goes out and buys whatever they want, right? And to an extent, that's true.
Yep.
They also draft and develop, Joel.
No doubt about it. I just don't want to give short shrift. Carlos Correa was part of that shortstop class also.
At the time, I would have picked him.
Right. And remember, he signed a 3-year contract opted out after 1 year. The relationship got him back with Minnesota. Last year wasn't great for him, but he did help them win a playoff series for the first time in a long time. He's gotten off well this year. Your point on the Dodgers. There are 949 players who began this season, Lauren, on a major league roster. That includes active, IL, guys on the restricted list, suspended. The team that had the most players they originally signed was the Dodgers with 46.
That's shocking.
The Astros are 43. The most drafted players are by the Dodgers. And when you talk to personnel people, they always talk about in the domestic draft how it falls off of a cliff after the first couple of picks for impact. Well, the Dodgers made the playoffs for the last 11 years. Go look at it. That's Clayton Kershaw, 2006. The last time they picked in the top 15 of the 15 overall picks was then. Yet, look what they found later in the draft because of draft and development. Guys like Will Smith, guys like Walker Buehler. Look at Seager, is the 18th overall pick here. They have been able to find gems, important players, later in the first round, which says something about their eye for talent and then their ability to translate it. Their 35 drafted players on opening day rosters, the most in the major league.
All of these stats are so surprising to me.
Because you think like they could always just do it with their pocketbook.
Yes.
And yet they're doing internal stuff as well that's important.
And perhaps the best organizations do both. I know the Orioles are such a far cry from the Dodgers, such a different organization, but they're drafting and developing. We're seeing them winning the AAA championship and 101 wins, and then they're going out and getting Corbin Burns, so it's a mixture. Yankees have homegrowns like the Volpes and the Judges. They also have a ton of talent that they go out and get, especially with their arms. And Garrett Cole, the reigning Cy Young winner, has not thrown a pitch, and they are living life in the Bronx. They're looking pretty darn good. They're maintaining without him, and it's important.
So I thought this was interesting. The other day, Garrett Cole, I think it was Monday, threw 25, played catch, 25 throws, first time since he had the nerve issue, came out okay. But we're still talking about June 1st at the best, right? He's on the 60-day IL. So that was also the night of the NCAA tournament, and it just kept coming back to me. The Yankees have to survive in advance until they get to Cole. Well, they're doing pretty well. They've got the third best rotation ERA. I think it's 2.52 ERA. I thought last night, Carlos Rodon, like he ended up out of the game. Anthony Rizzo had a shot to turn a double play, didn't. I think he would have gotten through 7 if he did. But this was a mature game from Rodon.
What do you mean by that?
He had a team. The Marlins aren't a very good offensive team. Cortez had shown the night before. You could throw your changeup against them. They're going to do a lot of chasing outside the zone. Rodon used his full arsenal and got through it. He dominated the strike zone, didn't get cute, and did it. You look at this group. They're 12 games into the season. Survive in advance. Can they get 60 games into the season in this year where there's a lot of pitching injuries using these 5 guys? And just go over and over. What they need, D-Row was talking about it earlier. The offense is so much better than it was last year. They need competence, health, or better from this group. And the bullpen and the lineup will carry them. And so far, so good. And I just want to throw one thing in, Lauren, because it gets forgotten when Cole got hurt. Stroman, Rodon, and Cortez have all been all-stars within the last 2 years. Like we're not talking about they were like, what are you going to do without Cole? Those guys have been very good recently. They need that version of those guys.
I love when New Yorkers talk about the Yankees when they're good. Joel Sherman, you're the best. Thank you so much. Robert, take it away. With the Big League Club, good morning to you. You were not so thrilled, but you're thrilled now.
Yeah, I think everybody in baseball should be thrilled.
Of course.
And I think everybody in Orioleville should be thrilled. Look, I don't have my finger on the pulse of Baltimore sports, but over the past few years, it's been a pretty purple town. Football, 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 football. The Orioles last year and the Orioles this year and what they're able to do and the young talent they have in AAA right now, there is so much more buzz going around that's black and orange that has not been there for a while. And this dude right here, I'm usually the crusty dude that says, okay, let's spend some time in the minor leagues because then you're going to see all aspects of the game over and over and then you won't make a mistake at the big league level. But this dude has absolutely destroyed.
It's crazy.
He's
the whole team.
Destroyed.
The
19 years old.
The Norfolk Tides have been just taking teams to the woodshed.
Right, but that's the whole team this year.
Yeah.
That's the whole team this year. This kid, since he came into the system, has destroyed every level.
Yeah.
And when he got sent out of spring training and he goes down there and the first pitch he sees or whatever, he hits in the river. And I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me?
Can you tell people at home the importance of him wearing number 7?
Yeah, this is interesting because we sat out here a couple weeks ago, right? And
Yeah.
Matt texted
And
you.
Matt texted me.
And threw out the idea of number 7 since I was sitting next to him. My father wore 7.
Yes.
And no one has worn that since we lost him. And I think it was a situation that's kind of funny because I think very respectfully, I know that the Holiday family had kind of made reference to number 7 or everything else. And my brother did touch base with me actually this morning and says, what do you think? And I said, you know what, if anybody's going to do it, I think that family's going to honor the fact that Senior was a part of that.
Yeah.
And it gives us another opportunity to throw Senior out there.
I agree.
So I'm all on board with it.
Yeah. That's great.
Senior goes along for the ride with Jackson Holiday.
There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, let's do it.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good. Honoring a great legacy for sure. All right, let's go front and center. Show you what you may have missed around Major League Baseball yesterday. We're going to start in Pittsburgh, where the Tigers, I mean, you talk about a comeback win. They put up 4 in the top of the 9th. We referenced
I got a Javi Baez, Dr. Dero in the works.
Okay. I want to see that.
That's called a super team.
We're almost at cardiac arrest.
Yeah, Pirates.
But I think we could save it.
5-3. Meantime, Mike Trout goes deep for a 3rd consecutive game. But it comes in a loss. The Rays beat the Angels by the final of 6-4. Trout has homered in 3 straight games for the 15th time in his career. For the 2nd time in his career, Tyler Glasnow throws 14 strikeouts, ties a career high with those 14 strikeouts. He did it in under 90 pitches. That's the most strikeouts and the fewest pitches since they've been tracking this stuff back in 1988. Dodgers beat the Twins 4-2. Twins still looking for their first home win of the season. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. Christopher Morel, bases loaded. That's a grand slam. 431 feet, an exit velo of over 109 miles per hour. Cubs, after blowing an 8-run lead 2 nights ago, get the win last night, 5-1 over the San Diego Padres. Okay, C.J. Abrams, I want you to take a look at where this ball lands. Mommy no. That is left on left. His 3rd home run of the year. It almost landed in McCovey Cove. Nats beat the Giants for a 2nd consecutive game, 5-3. Astros had a 3-0 lead, but they couldn't hold it. And in extra innings, Salvador Perez walks it off. The Royals have won 5 in a row. The Astros are 0-4 in 1-run games this season. No team has lost more 1-run games than the Astros, but their number 1 pitching prospect, Spencer Arrighetti, set to make his Major League debut tonight against the Royals. KC wins 4-3. A's Rangers. What a night for Shea Langoliers. Played collegiately at Baylor University in Waco. Grew up in Keller, Texas, which is a part of the Metroplex in the DFW area. And he goes for 3 home runs, joining Hall of Famer Mickey Cochran as the only A's catchers to homer 3 times in the same game. A's win 4-3. O's, Red Sox. Colton Cowser batted in 4, hit 2 doubles, had a sac fly. Corbin Burns, filthy. 6 strikeouts, 7 innings, 1 run. He has an ERA under 2. Orioles beat the Red Sox 7-1. Tyler O'Neill, albeit in a loss, homered again, and he leads baseball in all of homers. Fred with this tweet here. So will Bill Ripken also be teaching Lauren how to properly park her car?
Listen, I pulled up yesterday.
It's bad, Dero. It's
Every
bad.
corner of her rims on all 4 tires are scratched to high heaven.
And what I don't
unbelievable.
Lauren parks her car like she's being like she was just being chased.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe I was. Sticks and stones, honey.
Probably.
And
It has their strings.
And it makes sense now that the rims are scratched because I've noticed, I think the tire pressure's a little low too. So you're hitting something so hard, you're knocking air out of the tires.
Why do you have the wheel turn?
Clean it up.
Apart? Leave it straight. That's bad for the tires.
She drives that boat too.
Yeah, it's a big car.
All right,
it's a big car.
All right, so talking about cleaning it up, I don't think that there's anything more enjoyable for me than this morning session when I come out here with the Dr. Dero and we start looking at it. So before you go anywhere, Lucas, before we go anywhere a little bit, this is not what you think. You know I don't like this, but we're going to go somewhere else with this one. This is all about the scoreboard will tell you what's going on in the situation of the game. Okay. This is the world champions with, by the way, the world champion middle infield, too, if you want to talk about that. And I don't have to say anything about that. We'll get to that because you know where I stand with how he rolls and everything else. But let's take a look over here and start in Boston the other day because I wanted your take on this. We got my man Gunnar Henderson's going to be at second base if we can get her rolling. Watch the catcher. Go! You see the pickoff move right there? So play that back for me, Lucas. Get the catcher setting up. Now go all the way back before the replay, please. Freeze. All right, so he's setting up on the outside part of the plate. And I want you to notice, and I'm a firm believer, if you can execute, right?
Yeah.
People will give you outs. And I'm going to show you that this is very deliberate. Gunnar Henderson did not have that big of a lead.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised they put the play on.
And it was bang, bang. Yeah. But when you play this thing forward, the recognition has already been put out in the pickoff world.
Yep.
Shortstop knows it's a pickoff, pitcher knows it's a pickoff, catcher knows it's a pickoff, and the catcher is going to be the release. So play that.
Drop your glove, turn. Boom.
That is nice, deliberate time, and close. So from behind, get ready for me, Lucas. Freeze it, keep that frozen. So you see where he set up. Look at this, D-Roll.
Wow, I'm surprised Cora would put that play on.
There's a lot of reasons to put pickoff plays on. This happened to be in a 1-1 count. I always like the pickoff idea at second is after a young, aggressive, frisky dude hits a double.
Yep.
And like the next pitch, sometimes you can go in there and get them, but everything lines up because we got left-hand hitter up, so you're shading them. This is a direct path to it so he can set up. Like I said, I liked everything about the execution. We didn't get the out. And oh, by the way, Gunnar stole third, kind of the next pitch or whatever anyway. But the idea is turn around, throw the ball where he can handle it. Right? Catch it and then be able to put the tag down. So watch again. We can't see it completely, but watch right there. Go ahead and play it. This is deliberate.
And real quick, kind of coaches at home. We used to go through this in spring training, and I'm telling you, there might be 30 pitchers in a line. Billy, how many could honestly pull a good daylight off?
2.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's who you'd run it with?
Right.
So like coaches at home, I know you're going to teach every kid the daylight play. Don't put it on with every kid.
Right. Now,
or it's getting airmail.
And also, coaches, I wanted to make a point about throwing it here. This is not the perfect throw. Because if I'm on the move and you're throwing it down there right in front of the base, I got to reach down there and it's a long way from my eyesight. If you give me something I can handle, then I can be the aggressor after I catch it. So I said the scoreboard again. Let's go to play number 2 in Boston. And Fenway's interesting. Keep this frozen for me, Lucas. Fenway's an interesting park, right? We know the Green Monster, the 379 in left center field.
Pesky pole, everything's awkward.
It's weird.
Yeah,
but
I'm going cutouts weird.
I'm going perfect world scenario. The 1 out is what I want to look at. Bases drunk, and I've got a 6-1 lead.
Okay.
So I got bases drunk. If I'm the dude on second, I'm thinking about scoring. I'm not thinking about advancing to second or third, especially with the 1 out. So play this forward. Cedric Mullins, bases drunk, hits his bullet. Slicing away.
Come on.
It goes to the wall. And we get 1 ribeye steak sandwich.
Come on.
Yeah, 1 ribeye steak sandwich.
Read, go.
Watch, everything was good on your first part. Watch this thing right here. Freeze this.
Read it.
Because this is good.
Yeah,
good
you're fine.
positioning, and he's looking. But what's going to happen when this dude's closing? This is going to creep back. And like I said, we're at 6-1 right now. I don't have to
There's
worry
one
about
out.
getting
You
a
know you
third.
could walk back. You're already in
Yes.
scoring position. I don't need you tagging.
Play it forward, please. Ah! That right there got you.
Yeah.
Just that little movement right there makes you say, okay, we got to freeze it up and we got to hold the course.
Teaching moments, Austin. We're not picking on you. Teaching moments for the kids.
Freeze it, please. Because what I want to talk about here is double play balls. Most of the double plays that you get are a result of an average runner who runs good, but he's average, hits the ball firm, and it's kind of hit at the infielder.
Yeah.
That's what most double plays are. When I talk about these double plays, I want to point out the fact the first baseman should never enter into my highlight reel on a routine double play. Meaning I never want to see him pick a ball. Don't care. I want this up here in his grill area at all times. Now I want to talk about the underhand flip, if you will, or the counter coming from Marcus Semien. Play this, please.
Oh, play with it.
Rack that back for me, Lucas. Freeze. Go ahead and play and freeze it on the catch, please. Look at him back up a little bit. Watch this. So he sets himself to get behind. Freeze. Now, what I like about this, he immediately looks. Seager is a big dude.
Huge.
And he gets to point A to point B. I don't think I've ever seen Seager, and maybe I missed it, like swipe or kick or anything. He's coming and riveting on this base, and then he manipulates where the throw is to how he moves his feet. So first I want to lock in on this. When he counters this and backhand toss, look how long in a big league play his hand stays there. Click that forward for me, Lucas. Just click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Freeze. See what I mean? Back that up just so when his foot's on this bag for me. See, he's stepping right on it. There's going to be nobody challenging it. He's not kicking. He's not swiping. And then he attacks the baseball, and I love the terminology, the right to left, left to target. And watch him, for a big dude, this is a quick, tight turn by Seager. Play it. Right to left, left to target, and look where the first baseman catches it.
Are you a fan of this? Because I don't think a lot of young kids, I think that's a natural move for some kids at second base. When I went over to second, I could not consistently stick you in the chest, so I went away from it.
And that's perfect because it is natural. I am a fan for that when somebody naturally does it, like you said.
Okay.
And lastly, I want to talk about a little fundamental play right here from Bobby Witt Jr. This is how you end a big league game, people. I mean, it might be ugly, might be boring, whatever it is. But look, once again, first baseman's board. Go back for me, Lucas, and get back to Bobby Witt catching this ball. Okay, play it forward and stop on the catch. Freeze. So look at the distance that he covers right there. And my idea of a double play, the better he does his first two parts, catch and throw, the easier it is for him to do his first two parts of catch and throw. And like I said, the first baseman gets bored. Look how easy this is to turn. And Bobby's the same as Marcus on the counter, but the underhand flip. Look how long his hand stays there, because that's where the ball's going to go. He closes with momentum going that way. He flips it nice and easy. And then he allows his partner to do his job very easily. And that's how you end a big league game. Boredom.
And I love Adam Frazier real quick, just teaching moments for coaches at home. When you're playing second base, it was something I always came up as a shortstop, and I had to learn it when Furcal forced me to be a utility guy. Get your left foot to the bag. Get your left foot to the bag, and then you can play with anything. That if the throw's here, boom, I'm pushing, I'm back here. Left foot on the bag, he gives me that flip, boom, I'm here. But if the left foot has to get to the base.
Has to. Point A to point B.
And welcome back to the Wednesday MLB Central, presented by Hyundai. Baller strike. Pick a side, any side, gentlemen. If you disagree, it is a ball. If you agree, it is a what? Do not take the field, Bill Ripken. When I ask you this question, Zach Wheeler is the best starting pitcher in the game right now, a 1.89 ERA, over 19 innings pitched this season. Small sample.
He's going to take
the
field.
No, of course I'm taking the field. If there's one thing I am,
It's
I could be
consistent.
full of something.
All right.
But I'm consistent. There's 8 guys through 2 starts this year that have a zero ERA.
What do you believe in your heart?
Now,
Take this year out of it.
Now, if you ask me, would I like him lining up game 1 in a playoff series against anybody?
Yes.
The answer might be yes.
Answer is yes.
Hey, for me right now, it's a strike.
Okay.
He's the best pitcher in the game. Right now.
I think when healthy, it's Garrett Cole, but
no, you can't go that route.
Then right
Because
now?
Right now.
Right now.
Okay. Yes.
But there's still
give me
8
Zach Wheeler.
guys right now with a 0 ERA.
I understand that, but if I had to pitch game 7 today,
that's a different question.
He's also
I mean, it's just
durable.
He'll get
Brush
it.
off his
He's also
performances in Citizens Bank. We fall in love fast. The Yankees will have
I do not fall in love fast.
the most wins in the American League. Ball or strike.
That is a
Woo!
right.
10-2, best record in the game right now. Bill
You're
Ripken.
giving me the field. Ball. It is not going to
And they
happen.
stay healthy.
They're not winning the,
What do you think,
they're not
Robert?
winning the division.
I picked the Yankees to go to the playoffs, but I picked the Orioles to
Is
win
it the
division.
Orioles?
Yes.
Yeah, I picked the Orioles to win this division. I did pick the Yankees to go to the playoffs. So I'm going to stick with my prediction. I think the Orioles
Thank you, Robert.
will have the division.
You can't go
Strike
wishy-washy.
for me.
Did you pick him at the beginning of the year to win the division?
No, I didn't.
Well, then you're wishy-washy.
He's seen a lot so far. He's seen a couple weeks he likes Swifty.
No.
Just let him have his pick. Let him
Yankees,
live.
Okay.
Let him live right now.
Yankees and Orioles will
think
meet
it's
for the
gonna be an
first
awesome
time
summer in New York.
later this month.
Mike Trout will lead the American League in home runs. He and Tyler O'Neill each have 6 apiece. What say you, Robert Flores? Ball or strike?
I'm going to say a strike. I mean, he clearly has come in with a little bit of his chip on his shoulder. He's feeling good. The swing is, as always, he's locked in, man.
Hit
So,
with
yeah.
obliques.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. So you're giving me the
Oh my
field
gosh,
again?
I'm over this.
If there's
Can't do
one
this. You gotta
dude,
tailor-make it up.
hey, listen to me. If there's one dude,
Don't hate me.
if
Honey.
there is one dude
Yeah.
to make me go against it, but it's not happening.
Okay.
Ball.
Tyler.
I want to say strike because of my love for Mike Trout.
I hear you.
But I just feel like Aaron Judge is going to roll out of bed with 40. So, like,
Also, Yordan Alvarez. by the way.
Also, Mike Trout may hit with his abs, but did you see what Tyler O'Neill did yesterday?
Yeah.
he's hitting with his pecs.
Look at this. He's got
Hey,
6
listen,
homers.
he's a new change of scenery guy.
Oh, without a doubt. It clears Fenway, and watch where the ball. Look at where the ball landed. Look, wait for it. Right there on this poor person's Dodge Ram.
Yeah, it is.
Chevy.
Yeah, what is that?
Subaru Outlander.
That's got to be a Dodge something.
Listen, the grass isn't always greener. Oh, time out. Look at his setup, Bill.
He looks like the
Yeah, I did
Miz.
see that.
He looks
But
like he's about
look
to
at the
deliver a
pattern
skull-crushing
across the left
finale.
back.
Hey, but did you see after that where Corbin Burns retired like 18 in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That whole story coming around third last year and him and Marmol not getting along, you just knew he needed to get out of there. There was
Agreed.
something going on.
We're going to have to build a roster of recently traded Cardinal players.
No, don't do that. It makes
No,
me
we should
sad.
do it.
It is. Oof.
Well, now are you a Cardinal fan?
mean,
Did you already ditch
No,
the
it's
Nats?
Hey, things happen, right?
How do you?
All right,
how
let's
do you
go to
roll
break.
over there